The first thing that might come to a person's head when they hear emergency responder is, oh, well, they just help people. However, they do so much more. In the book Population 485 by Michael Perry, we get a clear example of how much an impact these emergency responders make through civilians' daily lives. In the book, Perry describes his life and stories of the town of New Auburn as an emergency responder. This not only affected and changed his life, but the lives in the community as well. These strong-willed people, who are usually just volunteers, are showing acts of kindness to help people, becoming heroes to the young and old, and leading others down a great path in order to make a more positive outcome to the community. Acts of kindness is a main role for each call these emergency responders go on, no matter how difficult the task may be. One story that Perry told us was about Helen, the overweight woman who had gotten stuck and had a slight regurgitating issue. Perry writes, "The thing about ambulance work is, you cannot dip your toe into the pool. You don't know if you can stand the water until you dive in. While you're training, long before you answer your first page, you wonder how you'll handle the blood. Well, there's no way to find out other than getting out there in it." Perry, page 54. Perry in this instance did not know how he would necessarily handle it, but he got through it. When he was younger, he said that he looked up to those on the force who were doing this for a purpose, to help people through kindness, even if it means someone puking all over you on the way to and at the hospital. Though one of the main qualities of an emergency responder is acts of kindness, many in the community will look up to those people as heroes as well. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes, but even if they are classified as a hero, sometimes they might not be able to save a life. They arrive on scene, ready and prepared for whatever an outcome they may face, with the hearts that sink down beneath their stomachs and fear dwelling slightly in the back of the mind. In Chapter 5, labeled Structure Fire, Perry gives a detailed report of the lengths these volunteers must go to in order to stop a fire, where he is located in the basement by crawling through the tight quarters of collapsed roof and debris. Will I get my feet wet? Will I get out of here alive? Most firefighting deaths have little marquee value. The firefighter who dies silhouetted in a nimbus of flame while rescuing a child is a reality, but a rarity. More likely, he'll be crushed by the collapsed wall, get hit in the head by a waterlogged beam. The dangers linger long before you knock out the big flames. Perry, page 70. These are the risks that the crews must go to in order to be a hero to the hopeful child looking up to their idol, or the older woman who is waiting for the one firefighter to come out of the fire-infested house with her husband, hoping he'll make it out alive. They will do anything in their power, though, to make these things happen, though they don't want to be classified as a superhero. They just want to know that they're able to succeed and make someone happy or relieved. Though they are called heroes by the community, they can also be classified as leaders and teachers to those as well. The leadership that the emergency response crew plays in a community is either paid or voluntary, but more of it is made out of the volunteer work. They show self-awareness, dedication, service, integrity, and so much more that makes them more than highly qualified to be called leaders in the community, in this case, New Auburn. Other ways that these leaders are teaching others is through training programs or educating classrooms on fire prevention and safety. Just like most training, Perry was also in that position, as he admired those in the workforce. He seems to admire the men of the fire department and looks up to them. Perry stated, "You try. You do feel responsibility. You are, after all, working on the behalf of the community, using the equipment the community helped pay for. But there's a seriousness to it all." Perry, page 31. Here we can see that Perry is willing to take on the role of leadership in the community with the responsibility and dedication to the fire department. In all, this is a never-ending cycle of helping and giving back to continues in the town of New Auburn thanks to the people like Perry. Truly, the emergency responders in the fire department and all play more roles than just helping people in the community. All the citizens of New Auburn could give a different statement to what these volunteers mean to them, but one thing they might say is that they're thankful to have them because even though that this town is small, Perry and so many others give their lives to make a huge impact. In all, think more in depth of what emergency responders actually do in a community because there may be more buried underneath than just helping people.